With these new Mainstage patches in Synth Layers for Piano 2, we've talked about some easier ways to get up and running quickly, but now I want to show you a little bit more advanced way to use these patches and to use them in a way that's going to be more efficient on your system. One of the things I like to do with my patches is set up different dynamic layers. As we go through a song, I can just go to the next patch and it's already set without having to mix. So let's say I want to take this combination 4 patch and I want to set up some different dynamic layers for it. So that's what let's say that's the level that I want to use for a loud section of the song. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this for a total of 4 times. 2, 3, and now I've got 5. So we're going to do 4. And so we're going to let this one be the loud one. And then for the first one, let's make this the soft one. Medium. And let's do something different at the end of the song. So for soft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the bright sound and the ARP sound. So I'm just left with the pad and the piano. So instead of just muting them, I'm going to go ahead and delete those channel strips. Then save that. For medium, let's still leave out the arpeggiated sound, but mix in just a little bit of the bright sound. Press save, and then as we switch from soft to medium, you'll hear a slight dynamic shift. And then we go to loud. And then for the ending patch, let's bring down the ARP, but still leave it in. Let's go ahead and take out the bright by clicking that channel strip and deleting it. Press save, Command S. So now as we go through these different dynamic levels, it's easy to just press the button and go to the next patch. Now let me show you how to set these up for a way that's a little bit more efficient. Let's go ahead and designate this as their own set. So I'm going to shift click those 4 patches. We'll come up here and select new set from selection. Now, there are a couple things that are in common for all of these 4 patches. And they are the grand piano sound and the pad sound. And I did not change the levels of either of those as we went through. So what would be more efficient than loading the piano and the pad sound at each one of these different pad changes would be to move these up to the set level. So what we're going to do is select both of these. I'm going to shift click these 2 channel strips and we're going to copy them. So I'm going to press Command C for copy, then go up here to click on the folder for the set level and then Command V to paste. Now those channel strips are now at what we call the set level. Okay, and what we can do is go through these individual patches and delete all of those channel strips, the pad and the piano from each one of these because they're already represented at the set level. So our patches should still sound the same. Soft, medium, loud, and the ending. But now it's more efficient because I've only loaded the piano samples at the set level. We're only taxing the processor for the synth for the set level, and it's not having to sort of reload every time. We only have one instance of these plugins instead of having them 4 different times as we go through. So it saves on the RAM, it saves on the processor as we go through, and it makes for a more efficient and smooth performance. Definitely smoother patch changes, that is. Okay, now there's one thing, if you're trying to do this with your own patches, I want to show you one thing that kind of trips me up from time to time. And that is, as you go on a different layer, once you set up channel strips at the set level, there's going to be a setting in here that we need to make sure is right for these other layers. So we go into Layer Editor, and you need to make sure that for override parent ranges, the other layers are set to add. because otherwise, once you put channel strips at this set level, they're going to override whatever you have here if they cover the same ranges. So make sure these are all set to add. For Synth Layers 2, I've made sure that they all are set to the add, so you don't have to worry about these. But like I said, if you're trying to do this with your own patches, make sure that you set that up with those, because otherwise you're not going to hear anything from those channel strips. So doing these steps and moving everything that's going to be consistent from one patch to the next, go ahead and move it up as high as it can go to the set level, or even the concert level. If it's going to be something that you want to control and have available throughout your whole concert, move it up as high as it can go so you don't have to add it any more times than you need to. And that'll help you work toward a more efficient use of Mainstage.